Welcome to Built from Love, the podcast for moms birthing businesses and babies. I'm Erin Pratt, and thank you so much for being here. Hello, welcome back to the Built from Love podcast. I'm going to be talking today all about the tools that built my businesses over the years. Many of these tools I've been working with for over a decade, and I can attest to the tried and true methods that I have found through these systems that have helped me slowly and sustainably build my businesses. I'm going to be talking about 6 different categories of tools that I have used, along with the specific platforms I've found the most success with. And I'll be throwing in a 7th tool as a bonus at the end. And for anyone who's in the process of starting to dream about building their own business or is in the early stages of entrepreneurship, creating a tech stack can feel really overwhelming. There's so many options out there, more options than ever. And it can be really overwhelming to see which tools you really need. You don't want to overdo it with so many tools that you get bogged down in subscriptions and business expenses. But you do want to pick the right platforms that will not only make running your business more smooth, more professional, and take time off your plate, but actually help grow your revenue, contribute to the bottom line, and protect your boundaries, your energy, and your life. So here's the tools that I found the most success with, both with my experience and the experience of working with hundreds of clients over the last few years. I want to emphasize that you want to start simply. So if you haven't launched your business yet, or you're in the very early stages, you may not want to run and sign up for every single one of the platforms I'm going to be mentioning here. It is important to test your offer out, test your products out for a little while before you invest in some of these systems that I'm going to recommend, just because you want to get that feedback from your customers that it's a viable product, a viable offer, something that you also enjoy. Sometimes we think we're going to enjoy something until we actually start doing it. And you're like, oh, there's a piece I didn't consider here that is not fun, and you want to pivot. So give yourself some time, build one block of your business at a time, add one system at a time as I run through some of these. So build simply, don't worry about perfection. As I mentioned in my Year of the Fire Horse episode a few episodes back, this is a year about forward momentum and acting with decisiveness, but not perfection. So go for it, take some risks, be bold in your actions, move forward with your creativity, and don't get bogged down by perfection or overthinking. Do it simply, do it slowly, one thing at a time. So, the first system I'll be talking about is your website. Everybody who wants to start a business or has a business, I believe, should have a website. It is just such an important piece of virtual real estate in this day and age, especially if you're a virtual business owner. And this is sort of like as if somebody was walking down the street and came across your brick and mortar business. I always compare your website to that. So it's really important to invest in your website. Now, this doesn't need to be a full blown, massive undertaking if you are just getting started. I started my website design business with the simplest landing page. And I even thought to myself, who's going to hire a website designer that doesn't have a full blown website? It was just a simple landing page. And I landed 4 clients off the bat with that very simple, no frills landing page. So, a website is very important, but it is something that is going to grow with you. So don't get bogged down in the perfectionism of throwing every single thing on your website to begin with. You don't need to invest a ton of time and resources in the beginning, though it might be worth investing as your business continues to grow. So, your website is so important. It's a landing place for people who are able to come across your business and find you to quickly get a snapshot of who you are, who you serve, what it is you're offering, and is this for them? So, your website should tell a story both visually and with words to give people a real look at your brand, your essence. And it really matters how you structure your website to appeal to your ideal client. Okay. So you want to speak to one type of person if possible. Pick your sort of dream client, dream customer, and write everything to them as if you're sitting down over a coffee and talking to them about what it is you believe in, how you can help them, how you can solve a problem, how you have a product you're really passionate about that will add to their life in some way. Eventually, your website should become sort of an ecosystem. It should be something that is generating leads for you day and night while you sleep, and is supporting your revenue goals and the growth of your business. So, the way you do this is by having some sort of next step or call to action very clearly marked on each page of your website. And so, this is where you're going to take your clients or your prospective clients on a journey to whatever it is you want to show them. What is the next step? Is it a free call with you? Is it a discount code? Is it actually just purchasing your product or your service? What is it that you want them to do? And you want to keep this really simple and really clear. So you want to move them from just a casual browser online to getting into your ecosystem, which I would recommend places them into some sort of an email list where you can further communication with them. So you can offer a freebie, you can offer a free call, resources, subscribe to your email newsletter, blog. And then again, you could offer discount codes, you can offer quizzes, whatever it is. Make sure that you're not just allowing these people to see your site, like what they see, but then not know what exactly to do next. It can't be as simple as just a contact form. You really want to move people through a storytelling process. And again, this is going to evolve as your business grows, as you invest more in yourself, your business, you gain clarity. So don't get hung up here. This is something that you just want to keep in the back of your mind that is going to continue to grow with you. So it doesn't have to be fancy. You just need it to be really clear and effective. The reason that I picked Showit as my website platform, I have used many of the platforms in the past as I've been a website designer now for like over 18 years, which is so crazy to me to say. How old am I? Oh my gosh. So, Showit is, I found it about, let me think now, 5 years ago. I've been using Showit for 5 years. It is the best of both worlds when it comes to sort of that drag and drop, templated, super user friendly type of interface. But combining that with the powerful engine of SEO and searchability online and those types of tools, as well as blogging. Showit integrates with WordPress. WordPress has really strong SEO options as well as blogging capabilities. So, Showit is where you build your website from a design perspective. And then you also have a WordPress site where you actually blog and plug in your SEO. So, it's this beautiful marriage of design, beautiful interfaces, functionality, super easy to use and customize, along with the powerful engine of WordPress for the SEO and blogging capabilities. Places like Wix and Squarespace and others have that really wonderful, easy to use interface, drag and drop capabilities, but they don't necessarily have that powerful WordPress engine backing them. So that's why I chose Showit. And this leads me into my next system I'd love to share about, which is all about an email marketing platform. It is so crucial that you own your audience more than ever in this day and age. Too many business owners rely solely on social media to bring their audience in, to connect with their audience, and to sell to their audience. And social media is a wonderful thing, but we have no ownership of it. It is rented space. It is so crucial that you own your audience. The number of people on your email list is in direct proportion to your revenue as you grow your business. So make sure you have a way of keeping in touch with prospective clients and existing clients through some sort of email marketing engine. It just depends on what you're using to build your system. Some websites have their own sort of email marketing capture right within it. Other ones you can integrate with something like Flowdesk, MailChimp, ConvertKit. There's so many options. I'm going to talk about Substack later on in this episode. So that's an option as well. But no matter what, you want to make sure you're grabbing those emails. So I have been using Flowdesk. I used MailChimp first many, many years ago. And then I moved over to Flowdesk. And I've been on Flowdesk probably for about 8 years now. And I absolutely love it. It is such a beautiful, simple, email marketing system to both capture leads and nurture your audience. You can split your audience up into as many segments as you want. So, this means that if you have an audience who is interested in one thing and then another audience that is interested in another thing, so maybe you have two facets of your business. For example, if you take some stuff that I'm kind of playing with this year, it could be human design or motherhood and business coaching. I'm blending them all, but I'm just using it as an example. If you have people who are only interested in human design or only interested in starting a business, you can actually segment those audiences So you're marketing directly to the people with the most impactful and effective messages. So I love Flowdesk. It is beautiful, it's easy to use, and it is one of the more affordable platforms as you continue to scale. So sometimes email marketing platforms will charge you based on number of subscribers. Flowdesk has a really beautiful way of integrating all of the features kind of right from the get-go. The biggest piece of advice I can share here is it is never too early to start building your email list, even if you haven't fully thought through all of your offers, even if you haven't officially launched your product. If you are starting to put up a website or even starting like an Instagram page for your business, put in the bio or somewhere on your website a way for people to sign up for your email list. Now, I highly recommend not saying sign up for my email list, but offering something like sign up to receive 10% off your first order. You see that on tons of retail websites. Um, or sign up to, receive a freebie that's related to the type of service you're going to be offering. It could be a template, it could be a PDF that you put together. That doesn't take a ton of time, but it does have to be good, like this is your first touch point with people. So you want to impress them, you want to deliver, but it doesn't have to be something super time consuming. So it could be a template, it could be a checklist, it could be something that is valuable to your ideal client that will solve some mini problem and give them a way to continue staying in touch with you. So own your audience, start building your list early, and I recommend Flowdesk for this, although, any email marketing platform will work the same. Okay, now this next platform is something that I recommend you potentially grow into. If you have a pretty solid foundation for your business, this is something you can invest in right away. This is especially useful for people who are working one-on-one with clients. One of the first things I started noticing as I was ramping up my website design business, I actually booked 44 website clients in one calendar year for my first year of business. And so I started noticing that I was just spending so much time on the admin stuff, downloading and uploading contracts that I had them sign. I was using all these different platforms to get like free trials for 10 contracts and making them over here and making them over there, trying to be as scrappy as I could to keep my expenses low as I was just starting up. So you have contracts, you have scheduling calls. I was using Calendly and I was using, something over here for contracts and something over here for forms to get that questionnaire back from my clients. I was putting manually into my Gmail calendar, like when to send the invoice to each of my clients who were on payment plans. It was becoming so overwhelming. So I invested in a system called Dubsado. Now, this is a CRM system. There are so many CRM systems. Okay. So just depending on how vast your company is going to be or is, if you have multiple employees, how many clients you expect to use. You might invest in different levels of a CRM. There's HubSpot, there's Monday. Dubsado is the one that I just was introduced to by a friend. She set it up for me. And after the learning curve and having it all set up, I did invest in someone setting it up for me, which was super helpful. It saved me and continues to save me so many hours in my business. It is single-handedly the thing that saves me the most time. And not only does it save my time and energy, it's also it adds a layer of professionalism to my whole business. I'm not just kind of randomly sending out emails and invoices. It used to be so awkward to ask people for money, like if they were late on a payment and I had to email them personally. Now Dubsado has a built-in system to like remind people that their payment is coming up, remind them that the payment is due today, remind them if their payment is late, and it just sort of automatically does that. So Dubsado is my CRM system. It brings in my leads through my website and it moves them through the process. So they can actually schedule their first call with me through that. They can sign their contract. They could pay their invoice, select their payment plan. It keeps everything in this sort of client portal that they can access and view to see where we are in the process. It keeps everything organized, professional, and most importantly, saves so much time and energy, not only on my side, but also on the client side as well. It makes things seamless, and that is so important, especially if you are a mom balancing business and babies. You do not want to rely on your own brain to remember when to send out that invoice. Put it all in the system, automate. Good systems equals more freedom, it equals scalability. So, highly recommend if you are working one on one with clients more than like one a quarter, definitely invest in some good systems for yourself. Okay, so this next system is all about, again, scaling. I didn't invest in this one for the first few years of my business. And then I wanted to dabble into some passive income streams in addition to coaching and group coaching offers. So I found Kajabi, and this is around the time when I was moving my business from only doing website design to also taking on coaching clients. And I put together this comprehensive 8-week group coaching program that I ran twice with women, and I plan to do it again as well. So, this is a great system to add in if you are either a coach or you're offering digital products, you're offering sort of like online courses or programs, things like that. Kajabi is not that inexpensive, but it is the one that I used because it has it's not the most expensive either, but it has so many ways that you can continue to grow. I was actually running my podcast on Kajabi. They have an opportunity to create your website, your podcast, your email list, and your courses and coaching programs all on their platform. I highly recommend doing that for people who want to keep their systems all in one place and not have like 10 different tools everywhere. The way that I've kind of grown my business, it made sense for me to stay with some of these other tools. And I liked the creativity and flexibility of some of these other tools. But Kajabi would be a great place to like put everything that you have in one place. There are other examples of this as well. So Kajabi is not the only one that allows you to do this, but it's just the one that I've been using. This is where you can host courses, your digital products, your group coaching programs, keeps it all neat and organized. And it's a platform that can really grow with you. So if you're looking to either get into something like coaching and digital products, or you're looking to add that sort of arm onto your business of passive income, that would be, or a comparable system to Kajabi would be a great thing to look into. Now, I do want to put a caveat here that passive income is super not passive, but it is a great thing to grow with your business if you're already creating resources for your community, for your clients. It makes sense to package them up and sell them over and over again if applicable to your audience. If it solves a problem and is a process that can be replicated by more than one person. So, the next type of tool that I want to talk about is something I'm much more new to, and that is the world of podcasting. I've had many questions already about how I actually get my podcast out, what tools I use to record, to edit, and to distribute my podcast. So I'm no expert, but I love sharing the journey along the way. And I think podcasting is going to be so some people might think like the podcast world is oversaturated. I think podcast is only going to grow. And the reason I think that is because we're going to become so overrun with AI content that hearing from people's unique original voice from their mouth is going to be really sought after. Podcasts are going to just continue to explode as people are seeking experts and guidance. They're not going to want to sift through all the content online that may or may not be original or like from that person authentically. It might have some element of AI generation in there. So I think people are going to really gravitate towards YouTube videos, video, audio, that sort of thing. So if you've been thinking about starting a podcast for your business or your brand, it is the year of the horse. There's no better time to jump into it. So I use Descript to record and edit my podcasts, and I am on a paid plan for that, though I do believe they have free versions. And I use Spotify for creators to actually distribute my podcast. I was using Kajabi for a while, and then I decided to move over to Spotify for creators because it allows you to actually upload video where you can actually watch me with this podcast through the Spotify podcast feature, but it does only distribute audio to Apple Podcasts. And then on top of that, I don't have the most professional setup. I'm just using my computer's camera. I have a ring light, my microphone, and the headset from my husband. um, but it is working well. And I'm sure at some point, if I continue to keep podcasting and moving this as a big part of my business, I will invest in some better equipment. I would say the lesson here is if you're interested in podcasting or something similar, start before you're ready. If you're looking to build your YouTube channel, just get going at it. You can always improve it later on. When I look at some of the biggest podcasters and I scroll all the way back to their first few episodes, the quality is not the best, right? Like
They haven't quite nailed down the audio. Maybe they haven't added a video feature. Their stream of consciousness isn't as clear. They're getting more and more practice. And as they continue to practice and grow, they improve. Their audience, starts to widen. So I would say, especially with the energy of this year, just rock and roll, get going, get practice. That's the only way you're going to continue to get better. And you don't need to invest in all the best stuff right off the bat. Give it a chance. See if you enjoy it. See if you keep up with it. And then that's a signal that you can actually put some money back into that business and invest. So, another platform and tool I want to talk about that I'm somewhat new to. So, I am not new to blogging. I've been blogging since I got a computer. Back in 2011 was when I started my first blog. I am new to Substack. I started that about 5 months ago, and then I didn't really do anything with it until more recently. Um, Substack is becoming like the hot topic around the internet world. I had my blog on my website, but there's not, unless you're really driving traffic to your blog, which I highly recommend you do and still have a blog. If you already have it, it's still very important. But Substack provides you a platform that also already has a big audience there, and it can help get your content discovered maybe more quickly than if you're just starting up a new blog. Unless you have a really powerful Pinterest or SEO engine behind that blog, it can be hard for your new blog to get eyes on it. So I'm playing around with Substack. I really don't have a lot to share here other than I'm using it because I'm brand new to it. So I'm still very slowly building on that platform. But I am really excited about it because I love writing. It's a place for writers. It's really a place for everybody who has a message to share. And it can allow you to own your email list. You actually have access to your email subscribers on Substack. And then they have a kind of social media feature where there's a notes section and people can post updates, which has been really nice because I'm off social media for this year as an experiment, but I'm still able to connect with some new audience and some existing audience over on Substack. It feels like a nicer ecosystem over there, at least for the time being, kind of back to how old Twitter and old Instagram used to feel, where people just generally share from the heart. I don't know, it's not as salesy over there. It's just more word driven, simple photos, and it just feels a bit more wholesome over there. So I have been really enjoying Substack. So for this platform, I just recommend no matter what you're doing, if you love to write, I highly recommend starting a blog, or potentially if you haven't started a blog, just go ahead and start a Substack and kind of see what happens over there. It is worth a try. And then finally, my seventh tool that has helped me build my business over the years is human design. I'm talking a lot about this because I'm super, super passionate about it. And I just continue to be blown away by human design and how it's helped me both in business and in motherhood, and helped me parent my girls in their own unique way, their own soul blueprint, by discovering more about their human design and then also using it to utilize my energy and my strategies best as a business owner. Human design helped me understand that I don't need to work the same as everybody else, that I'm meant to work in short amounts of time, short bursts, long periods of rest, and to be more of a guide versus a doer. It's so important to find your human design type, look into your strategy and authority, and see how it could potentially influence the way you make decisions around the type of business you're going to run. Are you building a business that's heavily focused on individual client work? Are you building a business that is more passive in terms of client work, but requires more marketing, more sales? There's going to be a lot of questions that come about when you're thinking about the best way to either start your business, or maybe your business needs to shift a little bit. Human design just simply helped me feel more authentically into what feels aligned for the type of business I want to run as a mom with very limited time and limited energy. And so these tools that I talked about, so website, email marketing, client relationship management, a CRM, Kajabi, or another type of online course program platform. Of course, the podcast tools to help me get my business and my message out there, increase awareness, and then human design. So all of these things go so beautifully together to help me build an engine that is not only working for me when I'm not working, but puts my message out there regularly while protecting my energy, my boundaries, and providing a level of professionalism to my clients, establishing my credibility, um, and my calm. It protects my calm. So I want to encourage you, build slowly, build sustainably, pick systems that feel aligned to you and the way that your business needs your energy protected. These platforms that I've discussed have just really shaped the way that I've built my businesses over the years. I highly recommend them. I'm going to include links to all of these platforms and share some of my discount codes if you're interested in signing up for any of them. I highly recommend using a discount code. Almost all of them have one for new users to sign up. So would love to share that code with you. And of course, I'd get a kickback, which is always much appreciated. And if you need any help choosing tools for your business, mapping out your back end, kind of building a structure and plan around your business, and something that actually aligns with your unique blueprint and how you best work from your energy type with human design, I am offering 60-minute human design and strategy sessions. So, in these sessions, I will walk you through your human design chart and talk through your business idea or your existing business to sort of blend those two elements together, your human design type, your strategy, your authority, with how you structure and set up your business in 2026 and beyond to feel the most alignment and not only just build a business that is earning you money and changing people's lives, but actually feels good for you. It matters so much not that we're just making money in our businesses, but that we're doing it in a way that is sustainable for the long term and is not just going to burn us out. And using human design to guide the structure of your business is going to be so powerful. And if you're a mom listening to this, I would love to also throw in your children's human design charts as an optional add on. If you wanted to go through their types and see how that works with your type. That has been one of the most powerful hacks I've had in motherhood to understanding my children and accepting them for who they are and helping guide them to their most aligned path, to being true to themselves and understanding some of their makeup as well. So follow the links that I share if you'd like to schedule a call. I also have a link to a ton of free resources, many of which talk you through some of the platforms I've talked about. I've spoken about these platforms for years. I truly believe in them. And I hope that if you choose to use some or all of these platforms in your business, that it buys you back some time to invest in your business, in yourself, in your family. And that's what it's all about. Finding peace, clarity, calm, and purpose through your entrepreneurship and motherhood journey. I hope this episode was helpful, just sort of bringing down the wall behind what I've been using over the years to build my business, the tools that have helped shape my entrepreneurial journey. And if this was helpful, I would so appreciate you sending it on to someone who might enjoy this episode or leaving me a review or a rating to help me share my message with other creative moms. Thank you so much for listening today, and I hope you continue to build everything you're building from a place of love.